It is always great when we can get a chance to chat with some head coaches. We had the opportunity to have a bunch of Mountain West coaches in studio with us during Mountain West Media Days, and another coach joins us from that conference right now, the head coach of the Hawai'i Rainbow Warriors, who opened their season on Saturday night on the SEC Network against Vanderbilt. It is Timmy Chang. Coach, really appreciate you jumping on with us. And, obviously football is on your minds as you get ready for Vanderbilt. But, back home 2 weeks ago, tragedy struck the island of Maui and the town of Lahaina. So how has that affected you guys, and how have you guys tried to, overcome that and help out the folks from Maui? We know Hawaii is such a obviously close-knit community.
Yeah, we were very saddened and then really practiced and had a training camp with a heavy heart along the way, and as our mind and our body and our spirit tries to focus on football and focus on the details, and we got a big 13-game season coming up. When something like that hits, it really puts life in perspective, and just some of the things that we're hearing and have heard, and just remembering the day that it happened. It was a bad deal. It was really a bad deal, and we just wanted to get involved any way that we could as we're in training camp. We did have a fan fest that Saturday coming up, and within 48 hours, our athletic department put together a drive where we could just kind of donate goods as fans came, and us employees, as well as my team. My team hit me that night, and they're like, "Coach, we want to do something. We want to do a drive. We want to do something." So just having, being able to just kind of get the immediate needs to these guys. But, Maui's going to be rebuilding for a while, and that's what we are here for. We're here for the long haul, and I really do appreciate how the state, the communities, our state, as well as nationally and globally, how people have supported Maui, Lahaina, and the state of Hawaii. And the people are it's still going to continue for years to come. It's going to take a long process to rebuild, but I really feel grateful and thankful for a lot of the community support. And we get to play a game this weekend and just go represent the state as we do, but really have Maui in the back of our minds and go play hard for those people.
Yeah, my intern from my radio show back in the day, her and her family live on that part of the island there on Maui. So they were telling me about the devastation. So our prayers are definitely with everyone, that was affected. As you get ready, for the first game of the season, a SEC opponent, let's start with your team. If I'm not mistaken, your leading rusher, Detrick Parson, and leading receiver, Zion Bowens, both graduated. What young players do you have you think are ready to fill in that production that exited?
Well, that's a good question, Sean. From the first game being an SEC opponent, Vanderbilt coming to our place, not and taking over the program, not knowing what we had, watching the film again, it was a good starting point to see, engage, and understand where we need to get to. I'm excited about this game, and then we got some exciting guys. Detrick Parsons' running back mate was Tylan Hides, who played running back, and we feel like he's a dynamic player. Gained maybe 600 to 800 yards all-purpose last year playing behind Detrick. I have a young group of receivers that I'm really excited about, a quarterback that's coming back. Defense, we retooled in that area, spent a lot of scholarships to get better in the trenches as well as on the perimeter. A lot of leadership on that side of the ball. And so, year one, year two should be a big jump. And I'm excited to see where we're at. Like you said, on the road, SEC opponent, Vanderbilt, well-coached team and Coach Leah. And I just feel like it's a good starting point to see where we're at. And then we go home next week on a short week against Stanford. And so, we're getting tested right out the gate, and that's the way I kind of want it. I want to see where we're at. I want to see where we can get better and what we have to improve on. And my young group of guys, I just lose 2 starters on offense after this year. So I got a young group, but I got an exciting group. I'm excited about these guys to see what they can do.
And quarterback Braden Shager finished last year versus UNLV and San Jose State. End of the year, 4 touchdowns, no picks How has he improved? That was a great way to finish the season. You can see the growth. Talk to me about where he was and where he is now.
Yeah, he's getting more comfortable. I think and earlier in the year last year, the little musical chairs in the quarterback room. We settled on Braden. He's coming into his own. Had a great off season. I see him getting better and understanding the game a little more every day, which tells me that he's headed in the right direction. When the bullets fly, as you know, Sean, when the bullets start flying, you're going to get to really see what a quarterback can do. And I'm excited about that. I think that with the run and shoot offense and what we're about to do and throwing the ball down around the field, down the field, horizontally, you need a quarterback, and Braden's the guy. And so I'm excited about that.
We'll go talking to the head coach of Hawaii, of course, former Hawaii quarterback Timmy Chang, as Hawaii gets ready to start their season Saturday night, SEC Network against Vanderbilt. It'll be at 7:30 Eastern. Coach, down the stretch, I know a couple victories ultimately came your way, but a lot of games were pretty closely contested. So were you – I know it was an unusual circumstance for you to get this job last offseason, so it certainly had to have been kind of a bumpy ride into the year, but to end the year with, a close loss to Utah State, who made it to a bowl, a close loss to Wyoming, who also made it to a bowl game, and a handful of other games that were pretty closely contested. I know we always say there's no such thing as moral victories, which I think is totally fair, but when you're building a young team, were you happy with how last season ultimately concluded with a bunch of close games?
Yeah, I think watching the Vanderbilt game, it really put in perspective of where we're at as a football team. I think our most embarrassing loss was New Mexico State, and a bye week couldn't have come at a better time. We had one of them coming to the Lord Jesus kind of talk, and really, from that point on, I've seen a change in our team and how they played and how tough they played. I would say this: I don't think last year with all the departures and inheriting this job and all the guys that left and entered the transfer portal, a lot of starters playing with young guys. I would say this: as we played better, and you guys know this, that the game's going to come down to one or two possessions and plays. So we didn't win those plays, and really we didn't have enough bullets in the chamber. We didn't have enough guys that I thought that we needed to compete with. And so we went out and recruited, we retooled. We're sharpening our details, we're sharpening our fundamentals and technique. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to see where these guys are at right now. And it'll give me a good gauge on where we have to go for the next 13 games. But to say, these guys played with heart. They represented the state and the Warrior way. Now, putting talent on that field and as coaches putting those guys in the right position, that's what matters, and them going out there and executing. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do this Saturday.
Year 2 is about to kick off for you guys. Are you still building the program? You're still creating a foundation that's going to create sustained success. What does success for you look like this year? When this year is all said and done, if this year's Hawaii team accomplished this, Coach Chang, this was a good year.
Yeah, we do have a bowl game in Hawaii every year. Usually it was played on the 25th. I think it was the 24th, maybe the 23rd, as I'm hearing this year. I would love to play in that bowl game. I would love to have enough wins to say that we play in the bowl game. But, I would tell my guys that, we play for about possibility of 6 trophies, right? Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose, Vegas, as well as the conference championships. We have an exciting season ahead of us because we play all these teams, and I want to win all those trophies. And if we could go to a Mountain West championship, that would be unbelievable. I think we're picked maybe last by people, and I pay attention. We're 17.5, and the line's moving at 18, and back and forth as it goes down in your guys' studio, as well as 3.5 wins. This year, I hear all those things, and I like that. I like hearing them, and I tell the guys, man, this is where they're picking you at. This is what they think of us as a team, and so it fires my guys up, and my guys don't believe that. They believe they're a good team, and they got to go out there and prove it every play.
Well, we love to hear that,
Great
and we
stuff.
always
Good luck,
love
Coach.
the late night games, Coach. Every person out there loves the late night Hawaii games, and we'll be watching this Saturday and all season. We appreciate the time.
I can't play enough 6 o'clock Hawaii time games. Love talking to you guys, man, and I can't wait to see you guys in Vegas.
There he is, Timmy Chang, head coach of Hawaii.
The Rainbow Warriors. I like it.
I
smell upset.
I tell the guys the point spread, the win total. Ooh,
It's
I love it.
motivational,
I
man.
love
It's
it.
motivational.
There it is. Timmy Chang, head coach of the Rainbow Warriors.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.